So we've got some exciting news, right? We're finally formalizing this darn endeavor.
We've got TikTok, we've got YouTube. You can find the podcast on almost every streaming service, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, Apple Music. We've redone it, rebranded it. We're starting to bring in guests. I mean, it's super exciting what we're doing. Like we got a new logo. I mean, the whole thing. We've really kind of turbocharged what we were doing before. I think it's really exciting.
That's right. Yeah, you can see our golden egg logo representing the Generational Exchange TGE.
TGE,
right?
the golden egg.
Go find us on www.thegenerationalexchange.com. You can see all of our lovely
Website
mugs
now,
and
that's-
a link to the YouTube channel right from the website. Some consultative services. But you put in all your contact information, it sends it over to us. And if you'd like to be a guest on the show, gosh, we'd love to hear from you. And we've got some exciting guests coming up.
We sure do. I think everybody's going to have to start tuning in to see what some of the guests are, but some of our guests are world-renowned leaders. I mean, we've got people that are coming on that can really provide insights. I think we're going to learn something. I think it's going to be really exciting to get to kind of bounce our ideas and talk and have conversations with a special panelist each week. And that's something else that we're moving towards, is that some of our episodes will be the four of us taking on an interesting business topic. And sometimes we're going to have new guests. We've got a lot of people that have reached out to us with interest in the podcast. So I'm excited to start bringing those folks on and kind of expanding the generational conversation. I think it's going to be great. Jeremy, I know we also set up an email. What is the best email too if somebody wants to reach out to us?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Feedback at thegenerationalexchange.com. And we all get that. So hopefully we'll get flooded with emails. That'd be a phenomenal problem to have, wouldn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
But you can even schedule individual time. I think one of the things we kind of want to be able to do this year is be able to kind of build a community of practice, right? We're all super engaged on LinkedIn. We've got the Generational Exchange page on LinkedIn that I think we've all joined, right? Did we all join that?
I hope so.
Certainly it links out to our website, but it's another great way to contact any of us. So if you're interested in being a guest or even just want to have a conversation, we've been speaking a lot about, what does consulting look like, right? Do we want to spend some time working with businesses, with startups, with businesses that are having trouble or need a strategy to really scale up? One thing that makes the Generational Exchange super exciting for us is this feeling of camaraderie. I guess that's kind of how it started, right? It was just a weekly vent session.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah.
It was to kind of talk through it. It was almost like business therapy, as a couple of us were looking for jobs, a couple of us were transitioning. I think I was on sabbatical, right? We were doing we were all kind of in different places, but working together, we were talking all the time. And it was just like, hey, we've got four voices from four generations, and there's a lot more commonality here than differences, but we give that unique perspective. And when you talk about consulting or the podcast or anything else, you have someone in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. So, as we build out our consulting, if you're more comfortable with somebody in their 30s, we've got Rhett. If you're more comfortable with somebody in their 60s, we've got Mark. Jeremy's in his 40s. I'm somewhere else in between, and we're all we're all available, right, to talk too. So that might be something that we're exploring as we go. But I think the overarching theme here is that we're growing the podcast. We're making this into an ongoing endeavor. We really want people to like, subscribe, listen. I mean, we like doing this. We hope people like doing it with us. And the feedback that we get is that when they listen, people get something from it. So we're hoping you get something from it too. But you can only do that if you listen to the podcast, watch our videos, and like and subscribe our channels.
Yeah. And I mean, come on and leave a comment, on a YouTube video if you'd like something bigger or more private. If you want to submit something to our website individually, you just, you want a group of buddies that you can talk to after work about whether it's just how your day's going, things you're struggling with, you just got promoted, you have a new job that you don't know the first thing about the JD, you managed to get into it. That's what we're here for, right? We're the generational knowledge and exchange for you as well as ourselves. So, that golden egg doesn't just have to relate to this group. It's your own golden egg. It's your experience, your career, your life, your business. Maybe you're a new CEO and you're wearing a lot of different hats right now, and you don't know which one's the most important or which one you should focus on, which one will cause the most issues 5 years down the line, potentially. If you're wanting to sell your company, right? Many of us here have been part of those mergers or acquisitions or whatever they are. What are going to be the biggest sticking points for you? So, you know, don't hesitate to just reach out for anything. And that's what we're here to do, is kind of be your business buddy, as
That's
it
great.
were, if you don't feel like you have someone to turn to.
Look, it fits with that always learning mantra, right? I think that's why our guest podcasts are so much fun for us to do when outside folks come on and visit us.
I love what Rhett said, that, we'd like to be your business buddy. And I think that's a great way to describe it, because one of the things we've talked about too is, all the things that we didn't know as we were growing up. Rhett and I were recently talking about home insurance and 401ks. And I can't, there's so many people that don't know about what matching means, or how to grow wealth. We have investment properties, we have all kinds of background outside of just our work lives too. So hopefully we can tap
Yeah.
into some of that expertise and just kind of help you as we go. But getting to flap my gums with the three of these guys every week is probably one of the things that I look forward to the most, because we have fun. We do always learn something. I think we always constantly learn from each other. And like you
Yeah.
said, Jeremy, now that we're bringing in special guests each week, we get to learn from people outside of our circle. But the goal is always to be learning. And I'm so glad we got this restarted. It's just really exciting.
Oh, it's phenomenal. We get to learn from somebody that's done 800 podcasts,
Right.
or somebody that's written a book, or somebody
I
that's
know.
sold off their business. Gosh, where else do you get experiences like that?
It's pretty amazing.
So excited about what this new season's going to bring here.
That's good.
Yeah, it's so many different types of episodes, and again, just speaking more to, I think this is really a network and an exchange that can apply to everyone in whatever situation you're in, because we're going to continue to grow it, right? And even guests that we talk to, we'll stay connected with and know about what their businesses are currently going through. And if they're maybe hiring someone and you end up being the right fit for it, right? I mean, this is really, for me especially, and I've talked about this on the other episodes, but this kind of network and community that all links through our website and our social media platforms, really kind of allowing you as the individual or the business to expand your network with and through us as well. So I'm really excited to both meet the guests and guests that we don't plan for, and people that come through the site and just ask a random question that turns into a whole series of how we helped you build your business from 2 employees to 50. And then you sold it. And we're talking about your golden egg.
That's right.
So I'm very excited for season 2.
Do we give a thumbs up there and say, give us a like, give us a subscribe, give us a comment if you'd like to join a community, and join it while it's early stage and free.
That's right. That's right.
Free,
There you go.
exactly.
That's very smart. But we have 16 episodes in season 1. We might drop another 1 or 2 here before the end of the season, and then season 2 is going to kick off with a bang. So again, make sure you look for the Generational Exchange. We hope you will follow us and grow with us and learn with us and teach us as well. It's going to be great. It's going to be a great year.
Can't wait.
No, that's exciting. Did we miss any other platforms? We talked about Instagram. Chris, you've done an awful lot with
LinkedIn.
the podcast.
We've got LinkedIn, TikTok. I mean, we're all over the place.
Because that's a little bit outside. I'm feeling more comfortable in the YouTube space.
Yeah,
But talk a little bit about the podcast. If you're totally into podcasts, or you want to be into podcasts, like on your drive, maybe decompress in the morning as you're having your cup of coffee, and you don't want to look at us because we're all not as pretty as Chris is. Yeah. Where do I go to just listen?
Yeah, it's on every platform. We have it on Apple Podcasts. And again, you can look for the Generational Exchange. It's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, Apple Music. I'm sure there's others, but just about anything that you can download a podcast, we're available. I tend to use Apple Podcasts myself. That's what I'm comfortable with, and I've just subscribed to it. So Every time a new episode drops, it automatically pops onto my phone, onto my computer. Each one of our episodes is about an hour. We always joke that we're never going to have enough content to make it to the finish line, and we always go blowing past an hour because it is such an organic and easy conversation. I mean, if you listen to our earlier episodes, you know that Rhett, Jeremy, Mark, and I all worked together at various points in our careers. And over that time, we became friends. And so it's just a very easy conversation. These aren't four strangers that said, hey, we're all different ages, let's come together. We're actually people that have worked and hung out together. Like we do this because we like each other. And I think that shows in how we speak, how we go through this. We laugh a lot, we make fun of each other. You know, we have a lot of blackmail on each other through the years. Mark was my mentor, and then over time, Mark retired, and I actually hired him, and he worked for me. Jeremy's been on my team. Rhett's been on my team through 2 companies. Jeremy's been on my team through 2 companies. So, you know, we have a lot of history. I think, Jeremy, what have we worked together? 12 years, right? Something like that, 12, 13 years. So we've all known each
I
other.
believe it's been that long.
We've all known each other when we were in younger generations too, right? So as we've moved forward, right, we've kind of grown up together. I would
when
say.
we met.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. Well, yeah, and it's just I love the part about this group and what we're offering, and part of the point of the generational exchange and the golden egg and everything here is addressing the unaddressables that most people don't, right? Those your job is too much, or you don't know what you're doing in your new role, or you're really struggling with something, right? And where that resource isn't there necessarily for you, that's what we're here for, right? We're here to address the things that are not common, or are common and aren't talked about. So, you know, I really like that part of, and Chris, speaking to you as us 4 as a group, that's always been something we've had
Exactly.
and been able to tap in once we developed it. And that's what I really think is going to be cool for others, hopefully, to get to enjoy and create themselves through this process.
No, and I think that was one of the reasons why we started this. Was I think we were maybe expecting, if we picked a business topic, there would be like this generational difference. And what we found was we all have similar points of view, slightly different lenses, right? From how we've been brought up, or how old we are, or what we were raised with. But it really is interesting how similar sometimes the way we've approached things, or learned things, or learned from each other has really been similar regardless of age. And so I always find that interesting when we talk about these topics. It's not like we're having these, if you're coming on to look at, 4 generations fighting about something in particular, that's not what we do, right? We get along really well, and it's really interesting how similar. And I think that's something that can be learned from too, is that at any age, a business problem can be tackled with fidelity and grace if you do it together, right? So I think it's something that we've learned too along the way, is that we're actually very similar regardless of where we've come from or how old we are. We all have an opportunity to learn, we all have an opportunity to grow, and we tend to tackle things in very similar ways.
Yeah, maybe that's why it's so strong, because everybody's looking to grow, right? They're always looking to learn. And if we can't learn from each other, we bring on guests.
That's right. That's right.
Outstanding guests.
It's very exciting.
That's cool about the podcast download platform too. So you mean we're available with Rogan, and who was that one that you were talking about that you liked the other day?
Oh, Mike O'Mara.
Yeah,
This is my hero.
Michael
O'Mara.
O'Mara.
Are you kidding me?
We're out there. We're out there with them. They got to choose between us and Rogan.
Yeah, we're battling, right? Yeah, toe for toe, for sure.
Yeah, we're on Pat. I just pulled it up. We're on Spotify, Amazon Music, Podcast Index, Listen Notes, Pandora, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and Deezer. So we're on just about every platform.
That's awesome.
Very exciting.
Well, shoot, this is a candid show. We can be honest. We tried to learn TikTok, didn't we?
We are
Tried being the operative
youngest
word there.
2
Yeah,
hours. 2 hours to try to figure out how to create accounts.
learning the TikTok. Yes, we are in the process of that. Please be gentle with us. As the youngest, sad to say it, we're still learning how to use that, but we will. By God, don't you worry.
We need to bring
Chris
in a
is gonna
guest in their 20s.
Dances. Chris is going to come up with dances and everything. It's going to be great.
Listen, I think I have learned a lot as one of the elder statesmen, right? I mean, we've learned a lot of how to use the technology, and it's been kind of fun. I mean, we don't have an engineer. This is a bootstrapped organization.
No.
You are looking at the chiefs, the cooks, and the bottle washers, all right here, right on the screen.
If it doesn't work out, we're doing a cooking show with Stanley Tucci. That's what this is going to devolve into.
That is the
That's right. I got to start wearing more scarves.
Off topic, did I tell you guys I signed up for, I've been digging this AI stuff. Chris, you and I have had a whole bunch of conversations about AI, and you were kind of the first that jumped in and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm doing this and I'm doing that.
That was
and
fun.
I actually got signed up for a series of courses through Penn Wharton, the AI applications in the business environment. And I'm excited to share that out with the team. It's super exciting and free.
Share a link with that.
Yeah.
Which AI do you guys use?
I should qualify free. Penn Wharton isn't charging. Coursera is, but the first 7 days were free.
There you go. What is your AI of choice?
As of last week, I am officially Super Grok.
Super Grok. Never even heard of that.
Team Super Grok. And it's Grok 3.
Is that Elon's? Is he related to that at all?
It is, yeah. So when X got hacked yesterday, Super Grok went away. And I was sad. I had things I wanted Super Grok to help me with.
So much. What about you, Rhett?
Mine's been Gemini. That's kind of been the one that I've used most. Not opposed to any of the others, just, still like
It's really interesting. On Gemini, they have now a 2.0 thinking experimental where if you type in what you want, it shows you all of its logic before it gives you the answer. It's really kind of cool to see how it's thinking through the process. It's really interesting. But I've recently taken over our tech group, and I have, 100 computers that we're trying to refurbish. And I had one computer that I couldn't get past. It was a Windows device. I couldn't get past the employee's name. They were no longer with us. So to be clear, I wasn't trying to hack somebody's computer, but I was trying to reset it so we could repurpose it. I couldn't get it past. I kept trying to reset it using the Windows settings, and it just wouldn't let me go past it. So I went into Gemini and said, here's the brand. Here's what I'm trying to do. Here's why. And it walked me through step by step how to create a new mirror image, put it on a USB drive, reset the device. It was super cool. It took some time, but it would also learn from me as I would say, and I could literally upload a screenshot of what I was seeing, and it would go, oh, that's great. Now that you've sent that, let me adjust my logic, and it would change how it would have me walk through. It was like having full-time tech support right there. It was unbelievable. I'm even saying he now, and in referring to Gemini as because I have the guy voice on it. But it is that conversational. It's pretty amazing. And then you can actually talk to it on your phone and it'll talk back and forth with you. That I'm still a little it makes me a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But it's so conversational. It's really I'm getting really used to it. But I use it almost every day to rewrite emails and come up with ideas like, okay, I need to brainstorm this thing. It really does help. But where does that leave us then, right?
There's a free one out there called Notebook LM.
Okay.
I'll share the link with you guys. But it's the neatest thing. What it essentially gives you an AI engine that you can load. So you could put, let's say I had a customer and I had 42 weeks worth of meeting minute notes. Or transcripts, maybe if you're using something to transcribe your Zoom meetings or your Microsoft Teams meetings.
Phantom or Fathom or something like that.
You can create an LM notebook for that, say, customer in this scenario. Load all of the transcripts or meeting minutes or whatever you need, and it's local, so it's not shooting that stuff out to, some big learning engine out there. And once it's all loaded in, you can ask the notebook questions like you would ask, the AI engines that are out there. Like if I were to ask Grok, but I can ask the notebook questions and it's going to answer me based on the library of content that I loaded up into it. Yeah.
That's really interesting.
So, I got, 52 transcripts from Google meetings. I'm like, I swear at some point they told me when their budget cycle renews, right? So I get all that stuff loaded up and I open up my customer A template and I say, hey, when does the budget cycle renew this year? And it pops me out an answer because it was in,
one of the notes.
Meeting minutes 14. Yeah.
Here's the thing though that I'm starting to get frustrated with is now we have so many people that have AI transcribers. There's more transcribers on the call than there are people. Like everybody's got a transcriber. Like I use Scribble, but everybody's got one going, and I'm like, oh, okay, like we've even like if we're trying to have an offline conversation, we have to go, hey, make sure your AI bot is off, right? Because it makes it harder to gossip if it's being recorded all the time. So
sometimes you just need that water cooler moment.
That's right.
Everybody, there's like give me a button at the top of the screen. All right, everybody turn your AI engines off.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All right. Well, I think we have gotten our message out there. I'm excited to see what people think of our podcast. I do hope that everybody will like and subscribe. To say it one more time, it's the Generational Exchange. You can find it on YouTube, podcasts everywhere. We're on TikTok, Instagram. We would really appreciate it if you'd like and follow us. And we have a website, www.thegenerationalexchange.com.
You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, as well as we're getting used to TikTok now. And you can reach us at feedback@generationalexchange.com. Feel free to send through all your ideas, and every idea that you have, we'll be sifting through them and talking to you.
Yep, you should keep the yep in there when you make his short.
I couldn't be more excited about this. The website's looking good. www.thegenerationalexchange.com. From there, you can link out to our YouTube channel, the Generational
It's
Exchange.
easy for you to say.
Also jump on and see the available consulting services. I think right now, they're all free. If you want to meet with one of us one-on-one, if you want to pull up for some career coaching, if you want to schedule some time, if you want to be a guest on the podcast, you can fill out the inquiry form or email us at feedback@thegenerationalexchange.com. We all get that. And you can come visit us on LinkedIn at thegenerationalexchange.com. And our individual profiles are out there. Feel free to DM us. And we'd love to hear from you, because I think really the most exciting part about season 2 is going to be the community, the folks that we get the opportunity to interview with, the discussions that we have together, and the discussions that we get to have with all of you guys. So
It's gonna be amazing.
Looking forward to hearing from everybody.
Absolutely.